Well, hello. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, and we have some birthdays today. Today is my cousin. I always get it wrong. I don't know if she's once removed or if she's my second cousin. My cousin Lynn will let me know, but my cousin Lynn, who is my first cousin, her daughter Sarah Manning Smith, today's Sarah's birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday. I know she's probably working. The girl's a workaholic. I'm telling you, she's got like a gazillion million jobs. It's like she's a very ambitious young woman. Let me tell you, she works a lot. She's a very hard worker too. But, I forgot to blow her a kiss. Jeez, oh Pete, you know, relatives, they always get a kiss. But it's also Jody, who is Sue W's daughter. So Jody, you'll have to get your kiss from your mom. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jody. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also, I had to write them down because there's more than, my memory's getting going. I have a pretty good memory because I can remember my stories, but just remembering names is getting a little bit difficult for me sometimes. But today is Vivian Kohlmeyer, Colemire. So Vivian, it's such a pretty name. I knew a set of twins when I went to high school, and they were twins. Obviously, I just said they were twins, but they were Vivian and Lillian. But you're Vivian. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vivian. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And last but not least is Karen. I'm thinking it's Coates, Coates. So Karen, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all of you have a great birthday today. I've had a day. Let me just tell you, I've had a day, but I'm very proud of myself because even though I've had a day, I stayed on track. I really did stay on track. I'm actually filming this after I've already eaten dinner, so you're going to see all my food I ate today. I showed you everything that went into my mouth, and I think I did pretty good considering everything that went on. But anyhow, I got up early. I had to drive Alyssa to school soon enough. I think she starts in 2 weeks. Sophia starts next Tuesday, and Alyssa and Sebastian and Oliver start the following Tuesday. And so does Kylie. But I had to drive her to work. I said, how many people go to Taco Bell in the morning? She says, they get a lot of breakfast burritos. And I never thought about that. I never thought that makes sense. But and I've never had a breakfast burrito, ever. I said this the other day, Jim always orders them at McDonald's. But no, I usually get a sausage biscuit. Is my favorite. And one time they put an egg on it. I cannot eat a fried egg. I just cannot eat a fried egg. I can't eat a poached egg. I can't eat a runny egg. I'll eat a scrambled egg or a hard-boiled egg or an omelet egg. Those are the only eggs I'll eat. Oh, no, I take that back. I'll eat a deviled egg because there's a little bit of devil inside of me. But so I drove her to work, and then I came home, and oh my gosh, I'm looking under the. I usually do my video in the house, and I'm just noticing it's a little dusty under there. But it's part of my deep clean before the Hazel service comes into play. I do have to. That's embarrassing. Don't look at that. Don't look at the dust under there, because I'm surprised a little ant didn't write a little message on it. Dust me, come on, little army of ants running. Anyway, that's embarrassing. Anyway, so obviously I didn't dust today or sweep the floors because otherwise I would have got that. But we had started, I don't know if you remember, that we had the paver people come. We spent all that money, almost $10,000, to get the porch and the pavers repaired. And while we were on vacation in South Dakota the first week of June, they were supposed to put the coating on it. And we've had a very wet summer. We've had a hot summer, but it's been kind of hard to fit me in that. And so I had sent him a text on Saturday telling him, it's almost September and you haven't finished, because they did everything but put the final seal on it. They have to put a seal on it, but it has to be 24 hours without rain. And I don't know how the weather was. Denise told me it never rained the whole time we were gone, so I think he just forgot about us and didn't do it. And then during the summer, trying to fit us in or whatever, we never got it done. So on Saturday, I had texted him and I said, when are you going to come and do this? It's been since blah, blah, blah. And so then he finally texted me back Saturday morning about 11 o'clock, and he says, we'll be here today. We'll be there today. Saturday. We'll be here today, and we're going to finish it up because it should only take about 15 minutes, which even got me even a little more upset. I'm thinking, if it's only taking you 15 minutes, why is it taking you all summer? I realize he has other jobs, but... So, no, he didn't come Saturday. And then, so I thought, well, he'll come yesterday. Nope, didn't come yesterday. So then I sent him a text last night, and I said, I think I've been very patient, but my patience is running very thin. That's the only thing, a part of me that's thin right now is my patience. I didn't tell him that, but I was so upset with that. And so he did text me back, and he says, we'll be there first thing in the morning. So I said, okay, I'm holding you to your word. And he says, I will be there first thing in the morning. As I'm driving to Alyssa to work, it's raining. It's like raining. I'm like, it's not raining hard. It was like just basically spitting. It was like a little cloudburst type of thing. So I texted him and I said, I think I'm living under a dark cloud. I says, because it's raining. He says, it's pouring here where I'm at. I said, well, it's not raining that hard here. And so he says, well, let's keep in communications today. And he says, I'm hoping I can get it done today because it's not supposed to rain for the next couple days. And so I said, that sounds good. So I got back home and it wasn't raining anymore. So I went for a quick little walk because Denise had, I guess there's this new thing that they do that they put this, rather than have a hose like to suck up all the saliva in your mouth while they're working. And it's not like a dam, so things don't fall down the back of your throat. I don't know if you remember when Jim had his implants, they dropped a little screw down his throat, and he had to go for x-rays for like a week just to make sure it passed through his system. Because it was such a tiny screw, they wouldn't, it'd be kind of hard to find otherwise. I have searched for my share of pennies from Jimmy growing up, if you know what I mean. But anyway, they clamped this thing under her mouth that holds her mouth open and then it keeps the mouth dry. And she said she was in the chair an hour and a half. They were doing an impression for a cap. And so now she's got a big sore inside her mouth and her mouth is all sore. So she had to go to the dentist to see if they could give her some kind of a treatment for it or something. So she didn't walk. So I just did a quick little half-mile walk, little over a half mile. And then it got really nice. It got really sunny, and you consider it my breakfast. I consider it just a snack when I got back from my walk. And then that kind of filled me up because I do find that the protein is filling me up. And so then I was just sitting around. I thought, I got to catch up on my YouTube videos. I am way, way, way behind. So I watched Danielle, and I watched Kim over to Girl on her phone, Danielle at Danielle Nicole. I watched Terry Weeks. I watched her. I watched Valerie Reese. I watched Peggy over at Colored Me Influenced. I watched Edie over at, I can understand why she's excited for the summer to come to an end. I am not, but I can understand why Edie is. She is like working. That girl is working, or woman, whatever. What else did I watch? I watched Roy over at Recipes with Roy. I watched Tracy, The Trials of a Long Hair Girl. I got all my videos caught up. Oh, Kat on point. I watched her too. I know, Sandy, what'd you do all day? I sat and watched YouTube videos. It's exactly what I did. But then I started to read because I got done with that. So this is the book I started yesterday, and I'm almost done with it. I have 42 pages left to go, so I'm going to finish that tonight. I have one more book that I have already, and then I ordered the last 5 of the series that I want to finish out before my birthday. So then I can say I completed the whole series for the summer, which was 22 books, I think, in the series. I think there was 22 books, I think there's 22 in the series. And then I read 4 books, part of that other series with the Sensible Shoes series. I read the 4 of those books, and then I read 3 books that Christy had given me. So I think I'm going to finish the summer out with about 35 books. I'm kind of proud of that, I think. So, and then, what else did I do? So then when I was just getting ready to eat my breakfast, you'll call it lunch. I was just sitting down to eat that. And my insurance adjuster called me, which I didn't think I'd hear from him till tomorrow because he just got back from vacation yesterday. Oh, it was not good news. It was like it took my appetite away. I did finish eating, and that could have turned me to food. So thankfully, I had already made a healthy lunch, whatever you want to call it, because it gave me the reason that let's not turn to other things to solve your issues. You've already got this made. Eat this. It's healthy. And so I ate that because when I'm sure you all remember, when the remediators came to check on the basement, they had told me that it was going to cost between $8,000 and $12,000, which just kind of completely floored me. I was like floored. And then for some reason, I don't know how it came about, but they charged me for stuff that they shouldn't. They stole stuff. We think they stole stuff because we had downstairs, because we put drop ceiling in, and we had extra drop ceilings that we were going to put into the other 2 rooms, but we just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And we know for a fact that the water never hit it. And there was 2 or 3 cases, enough to do the 2 rooms. There was a lot. Let me just put it that way. There was a lot of ceiling tiles. They're gone. They're nowhere to be found. They're gone. Jim had a dresser in the one room where the water never got to, that he kept all of his work, not his work clothes, his hunting clothes, and all of his, like hunting gear and all that. It was a really tall chest. It was a really nice chest. So he got that, I think it was his when he was a kid or whatever. It's like was made of solid wood. They took all the clothes out of it, put them in a box, and then they threw it away or whatever. So that dresser's gone. I think the only reason they kept the china cabinet down there because we have an antique, we call it an antique china cabinet. Jim's parents had bought us for our wedding a antique dining room set that was, when we got it, was like 50 years old, and we got married in 1971. So 50, it was like it's over 100 years old, this china. And the only thing we have left of it is the china cabinet. The table just got worn and torn and got, whatever. And the buffet, the kids use it as a dresser, and it got wrecked too. But the china cabinet was down there, but it's like impossible. And I'm sure they probably couldn't figure out, because we had a hard time getting it down the basement, because it's actually Jimmy's. Jimmy has it in the death book. It's actually Jimmy's. But in the meantime, when he had it at his other house, and then when him and Cindy got divorced, he brought it here because that was part of his divorce settlement, part of the furniture. And so he just put it down the basement down there. So I'm sure if they could have probably figured out a way to get it up, because there was a little bit of water damage on that one. I will give them that. There was a little bit of water damage on the bottom, but not enough that we can't fix it. So we can repair the little bit of water damage that there was. Anyway, so the adjuster calls and he says, well, how did you get these people? Did we recommend them? And I said, no, they just told me that I could call somebody. And the way it was explained to me is that no matter who you called, like if we say we're going to give you $100 to do this, you can tell me it's going to be $150, but no, we're only going to give you $100 for this. So it doesn't really matter who you call to come in, because there's a set rate that all insurance companies work with, and that's exactly what we go by. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, because I was going to call, I don't know if it's like all around the United States, but around here you call Jarvis, and they're for restoration things. So I called Jarvis, and they sent somebody out, and then the guy came and he was doing his appraisal, like looking at the basement. And I was once in a while I do think, not always, but once in a while I do think, he started snapping pictures of the damage down the basement, for his claim. The guy that came from, he was from Advanced Restoration. If you're in Michigan, do not go to Advanced Restoration. Stay away from them. Because he snapped a picture of something. That's how he did it. He snapped a picture. And so I took my phone out and started to take a picture. And he says, oh, you don't need to take a picture. I'm taking pictures. Okay, as soon as you tell me I don't need to take a picture, then I kind of, my little antenna went up, and I thought, no. So every picture he snapped, I snapped right next to him. So like he took his camera out, took a picture, my camera. I have like probably about 50 pictures. He took pictures of everything. I took pictures of everything. So, and he So I asked him, I said, well, how much is this going to cost? And then he said the exact same thing that the insurance adjuster said. You know, it doesn't really matter. I can tell them that I want to get paid $200, but, oh, now I see a spider web. This is why I do this is why I do things outside. I get so distracted. It's like, but you know, they make their webs fast. So my house is not dirty. Please don't think my house is dirty. I should probably edit this out, but I won't. You know I won't. Anyway, that wasn't even a squirrel. And you know, the squirrel's eating the corn, and I'm not seeing him eating the corn. I'm leaving him. So that's like defeating the purpose of having the corn out there. He never eats it when I'm there. Anywhooser. So he said, no, you know, if they're only going to give me $100, I can say 200, but they're still only going to give me $100. And I said, well, how much do you think this is going to cost? And he said, oh, I would say between $8,000 and $12,000. I thought, oh my gosh. Jim and I were thinking it was going to be like about $1,000, $2,000, because when we heard our deductible, which was an odd amount, was $2,384 or something, or $2,385 or something, or $2,380 or something like that. It was an odd amount, whatever it was an odd amount. And so I thought, oh, if it's over 3,000, I was hoping it would be at least 3,000 or 4,000, and I only have to come up. You know, I was hoping it was less than that. It would cover for the deductible. But he said, no, it'll probably be between 8 and 12. I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. So anyway, the guy calls and he says, well, did the insurance adjuster a thing? And I said, no, we called Jarvis and they recommended advanced restorations. Once again, don't get them. He says, oh. And I said, why? And he says, well, you know, I told you this. The only thing I did smart on my insurance was by mistake. I did not deliberately do this. This was definitely an oversight on my part. But I insured my sump pump damage to be $23,800, which is why my deductible is $2,380, because it's 10% of what my coverage is. I know that's a very odd amount, and why I picked that amount, I don't know. It was probably like a scale, and I'm sure it was a mistake on my part, but it was a mistake in my favor nonetheless. So even when the insurance adjuster, he says, well, you got really good coverage. And I thought, oh my God, I can't believe that either. Well, somehow the guy found that out too, because when my insurance adjuster, long story short, which is no, short story longer, that's the better way of putting it, the amount of remediation that they charged my insurance company was $24,850, which is more than what my coverage is. And that's not even including that I still have to pay the deductible of the $2,400, say. And I said, oh, I think I heard you wrong. He says, no. He says, what did they do down there? And I said, they didn't do that much, I don't think, you know, as far as that. And so then he says, do you mind if I come over and look at the thing for myself? Which they don't do nowadays. They usually just make a decision. I says, you are more than welcome to come. So I called Jim and I says, get your butt home from work so you can talk to this guy too. So Jim came home and he went down there and he's looking in that and he said, I don't see more than $10,000 worth of remediation down here. He said, I have no words to say. So I said, so we're pretty much screwed, although I didn't say screwed. He said, no, not really. He says, you know, I'm going to fight this. He says, we're not going to pay them that much. And I said, well, if I need to get a lawyer or something. He said, no, we're gonna fight this. And I said, so am I going to have any money left to do repairs on the basement? He said, I'm hoping. I know I liked him because he was honest with me. He was really honest. He said, I don't know, we're going to really fight this. And I said, so how long are we talking? And he just kind of looked at me and I said, I'm talking how many months? Because he says months. And I go, well, I know it's going to be a back and forth thing. You're not going to tell them. They're going to tell, oh, okay, yeah. He says, no, it is going to definitely be a back and forth. He says, but I wouldn't say months. I'd say weeks. And I go, oh, okay. So we're talking September, middle of September. He says, oh, I'm hoping to have it all cleared up before the end, by the 1st of September. And I go, well, that's next Friday. And he goes, oh, you're right, it is. He says, no, I'm going to have it all solved by next Friday. I said, well, I'm not going to hold you to it, but, like, it would be nice if it could be done so we can get moving on with this. So he said, yeah. He said, I can't see that my manager is going to allow me to pay them that much for this. I said, well, I think they took advantage of me because I'm an old woman and And I says, I'm 70, I'm going to be 73. And he probably looked at me and he says, oh, easy target. She's 73, senior citizen. We can take advantage of them. And he says, no, this particular company, if you were 23, they would have taken just as much advantage. He says, they're very shisty. He says, an example is the fans that they put down your basement, they charged you $10,000 for the fans. I says, I could have went to Lowe's and bought a bunch of fans for less than $10,000. He says, exactly. He says, that's one of the main things we're going to fight. He says, because there's no reason that they needed $10,000 just for fans. So I thought, oh, okay. So then my paver guy did come and finish my pavers. Like I said, it took him about 15 minutes. He got it all done. So he's gone now. And so now I'm just going to finish my book tonight. There's nothing else on TV. I'm all caught. Well, no, I take that back. I still got to watch Joan's Pony Plate, her weekend vlog, which I think is, see, and if I wait till tomorrow, then I'll have her weigh-in video too. So, and I did tell you, I watched Kim and a girl on her phone. So, anyway. But my plan is, thankfully, I have my food already, because I probably would have turned to food. I know who I am. I just know who I am. So, I ate a healthy lunch, and I stayed on track the rest of the day, just got right into my book. I didn't sit outside today because it was a little chilly. I mean, the dew point is like in the 50s, and the temperature is like 70. I'm not complaining. It's nice. It was so nice sleeping with the window open last night. But it was just a little chilly-willy to be sitting outside when I could see that I should have been in the house dusting and getting rid of that spider web, which as soon as I'm done here, he's gone. The one outside, you can make that as big as you want. I don't care, because I'm fascinated by you. In the house, that just speaks poorly of me. And no, that's just not gonna happen. So my plan of attack now is to get through the remainder of August. I'm hoping to have I had a loss in July. Wasn't a big loss, but I had a loss in July. Have another loss in August, and then really get for the next couple months, August, September, October, finish those 3 months strong, and then work on the holiday months of November and December. But I got to get my foot in the door for that right now. So, but anyway, let me show you what I had to eat. Don't look at it. See, if I go like this, I won't even notice it over there. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And pay. Don't think of my house as dirty, because it's not. It's neat. It's dusty. We're creepy and we're dusty. Talk to you soon. Okay, I'm back from my walk. I would consider this a snack, but since it's my first meal, I think everybody would consider it my breakfast. But I'm going to have a hard-boiled egg for 6.4 grams of protein, a peach for 1.3 grams of protein, and some almonds for 4 grams of protein. So, or 5, I forget. Well, it came out to that it was a 12 grams of protein, and then my water. So there's a 12-gram snack, breakfast, whatever you want to call it. Today we're going to try some Greek yogurt, and I'm going to put some berries in it, piece of avocado toast, and a hard-boiled egg, and a cup of tea. So I have 26.5 protein grams and 8.5 fiber grams. Okay, for dinner we're going to have some of my chili that I made with some sirloin, and the other half of my turkey avocado wrap that I had at dinner yesterday. I'm not really sure how to figure it out, so I figured there's 15 grams of protein in the avocado and turkeys, and 15 points for the refried beans and the meat that I have in there. So I thought that I had 30 proteins. I forgot to show you I had 3 points at breakfast, 11.7 protein grams and 4.25 fibers. Couldn't figure out the fiber on this. So I figured I'd end of the day with 14 points and 68.2 grams of protein. Not as much as I'd like, but a little bit more than I've been doing.